Hi, everyone. I'm Scott Hoke. Welcome to Mecum Full Throttle as we bring you highlights of our coverage of Mecum Kissimmee 2026, an automotive extravaganza like no other. 13 days, nearly 4 dozen collections, hundreds of world-class collector cars that highlight a lineup of nearly 4,500 vehicles. Only Mecum Kissimmee can claim those type of numbers. And coming up in the next hour, we'll bring you the best moments from the world's largest collector car auction. We check out this 2018 911 GT2 RS.
Yeah, this is the 700 horsepower, 3.8 liter flat six. This is basically a car that Porsche built for unstable individuals. And it certainly fills that bill, I would say.
I think so.
Yeah, this one built for cruising. It's got the extended range fuel tank in there. And one thing that this car shares with the turbo are those inlets just in front of the rear wheels to cool the rear brakes, aid in cooling the engine as well. And you can always spot the GT2 by those wide grills underneath the headlamps. A lot bigger than the GT3 openings there. This car is pretty much a street legal track beast.
And the reserve is off, everyone, at $575,000. Wow. Let the hammer drop on that GT2 RS. Okay, GT350, 1965.
Yeah, and I love to read the VINs on these. SFM 5S411, Shelby Ford Mustang, 1965 Street 411. So out of the 525, 30 cars that were built in 1965, it's always hard to accurately tell you how many of these were built. Howard Pardee of the Shelby Club did a great job of smoking out how many of these cars were built and what they came with, but there's always a little wiggle room there. 562 is what a lot of people say, but again, they didn't build a whole lot more than those, no matter who you listen to. Great rotisserie restoration by Rick Warnick at Northwest Mustangs. Matching numbers 289, 306 horsepower, as the street cars had, with the Borg Warnick T10 4-speed. Automatic, not available in 65. That didn't come along until the following year. A lot of special Shelby pieces.
$600,000 for that historic GT350. One of the most legendary and desirable and seldom seen historic cars is now on the block here, Bill Stevens. That 66 Shelby 427 Cobra with the narrow hip configuration.
Yeah, only 32 of these were built, the street car with a narrow hip. Now, we're talking about the rear fenders. You can see that the rear fenders pretty much follow the contours of the rest of the car. The wide hip cars, pretty much cars that were destined to be raced, needed that wide hip configuration to get all that racing rubber underneath. In fact, sometimes you'll see street cars with the wide hips, and the wheels are a little bit too far in from the fender lip. But this one right here is a real narrow hip with the original 427. And remember, some of them had 428s back in the day, but this has got the 427, the 2 4-barrel carburetors, and original rear end, original chassis plate. A lot of originality.
Make some noise. So,
There it is. $3 million buys that narrow hip 427 Cobra.
CSX 3158, the 158th 427 Cobra.
Boy, oh boy. And right on cue, here's a 64 Shelby Daytona continuation coupe, Bill.
This is CSX 2360. And that in and of itself is a reflection of how accurate these cars are, because all small block Cobras built back in the day had CSX numbers that began with the number 2. And this one, the continuation car, follows suit. The Guardsman blue, the white stripes, race prepared 289, just like the original. Weber 48 IDA downdraft carburetors, close ratio 4-speed, authenticity through and through. 3-inch round tube chassis. Original spec transverse leaf spring suspension. Those early 289 Cobras had leaf spring suspensions. They went to coil springs when they went to the 427. So this one follows the recipe of those original Daytona coupes.
And it just sold 530 grand. Here is one from 2005 Ford GT.
This one has deleted the rocker stripe. It's got the Ford GT on the rocker, but the rocker stripe is also deleted. Something obviously that's very appealing to bidders as, look, we're already at 550.
Yep, it's got the Macintosh stereo and it's got the lightweight wheels, but it doesn't have the stripes. Only 14 were produced in this midnight blue in 2005 at 550 horse, 5.4 liter supercharged V8, and a 6-speed transaxle.
Sold 590. Sold 590.
590.
Yeah, in a car that has almost 7,000 miles on it, Scott.
Speaking of miles, the next one is also from 2005. All 4 options under 300 miles.
Yep, 298 miles. Specs, yep, same as the one we just had. 550 horse, 5.4, 6-speed manual. Those big Brembo 4-wheel disc brakes. Color is Centennial White with blue stripes and the ebony leather interior.
All right, so $20,000 difference. This one is from 2019, and this is that very desirable Gulf Heritage Edition.
Yeah, we go back to 1968 and 69 when John Wyatt was running the Ford GT team, and he had the Gulf livery on those cars. And I never thought in my lifetime I would ever see a 3.5-liter engine make 647 horsepower, but that's what this twin-turbo 3.5 EcoBoost V6 can do. 1,990 miles on the odometer. 7-speed dual-clutch racing automatic transmission, 20-inch forged aluminum wheels, and the Brembo carbon ceramic disc brakes.
$1.1 million buys that 2019 Heritage Edition Ford GT.
Superlatives are hard to find right now.
Welcome back to Kissimmee, everyone. Let's get you right back out to the auction block. The bid on this big break airbox Corvette is $500,000.
And not a big surprise to me. This is the earliest airbox Corvette known to exist. That airbox is kind of a primitive induction system, kind of like a ram air system that someone came up with in 1957. And the airbox cars were the first factory Corvette race cars that were built for privateers. These were not GM campaigned race cars. Had a fresh air intake box and all kinds of other extras. A lot of them were big brakes like this one with the big fin drum brakes, and one of the first 4-speed Corvettes that were built.
$600,000.
If you're a car guy and you don't have a big smile on your face right now, something is wrong. And oh, look at what's on the block next, Scott.
Okay, who did not have a poster or a model or a Hot Wheels or whatever of a Lamborghini Countach back in the day?
Yep, guilty as charged.
Chris?
I don't see anyone raising their hands. You said who did not? No one's raising their hands.
Exactly.
Everyone did.
Everybody did. This is from 1988.
I always really noticed the U.S. spec bumper and how it changed the front end of these cars, Chris.
Oh, in the worst possible way. I mean, I hate to disparage the car because overall it's a work of art. That bumper, man.
We used to call that the Jerry Colonna mustache on the front of those. But yeah, this is a special one, though. This has got the 4-valve per cylinder. This is the Quattrovalvole model. It was produced between 85 and 88. 1 year short, I believe, of the anniversary car was 89, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
5-speed manual, and, of course, that Bosch K-Jetronic fuel injection.
$545. Okay, now we go to a 1966 Shelby 427 Cobra.
This one, CSX 3218. Now the 3 is in the chassis number on all big block coil spring Cobras. 218 is your production sequence, and it's one of 260 big block coil spring street cars that were produced. It's in the Shelby registry. All its history is known. Side oiler 427. Some of them came with 428s. It really was a cost-cutting measure by Shelby. The 428s, yeah, they were a little bit less money and really gave you performance that was equitable with a 427 when you're driving them on the street. And, of course, a 4-speed. Leather upholstery, of course. And the Halibrand wheels.
Well, again, you can add another vehicle to our $1 million plus club today here at Mecum Kissimmee. $1.4 million for that 1966 427 Cobra. Our next vehicle to inspect with Steve Matchett on the case, 2023 Ferrari SF90, the Spider Edition.
I have to say, Scott, what Ferrari managed to achieve with this car is an absolute symphony of engineering magic. It was produced, the name gives it away, it's the SF90, and it's a celebration of Scuderia Ferrari 90. It's 90 years of the racing division, not of the road car division.
Right.
This is an homage to Enzo Ferrari when he took over full control of the racing team, renamed it Scuderia Ferrari. This is absolutely loaded with all sorts of Formula One technology on the car. The interior, of course, gives you a beautiful lightweight carbon everywhere. At the rear, there is a version of the Formula One DRS, the drag reduction system here to give the car more downforce. Very low slung engine, 4-litre V8. But at the back, you can see here, just the attention to detail. Ferrari would not compromise on the position of the horse logo. Just absolutely fantastic.
Sold 550.
Sold it, $555. 1963 Corvette, split window coupe, Z06, N03, and TRS top flight car, Bill.
Yep, that N03, that's a tanker. That's that 36.5 gallon tank for racing gasoline, because this is where a lot of these cars wound up. 63 of them were built, 199 Z06s, of course, and they all have that 360 horsepower fuel-injected engine and a 4-speed transmission. A lot of special Z06 special performance equipment goes along with it. The heavy-duty metallic power brakes with cooling fans, dual circuit master cylinder, special heavy-duty suspension, shock springs and sway bar. And how about Daytona Blue? No exterior badges whatsoever to tell you what's really happening inside.
Sold $950,000 Frank's Way.
And at that mark, $950,000. Bring out another Corvette from 1964. This is an N03 coupe.
Yeah, of course, the Z06 was 1 year only, but that big 36.5 gallon gasoline tank, that was still available in 1964, one of 38 that were built that came with that big tank. This is known as the Jack Murray tanker, and this was ordered new by a GM employee in the GM marketing department back in 1964. It's got the fuel-injected engine, but in 64, the horsepower went from 360 to 375, and the tuxedo black and the silver interior is so eye-catching.
Sold 700.
Okay, the reserve was off. Okay, $700,000. Okay, it's Hemi time. 69 Coronet RT convertible.
This is an unbelievable car. The restoration is just off the charts. The color you're looking at is called bright turquoise, black interior, white top, color matched wheels with those poverty caps, and you're getting a look at the elephant right there. 426, putting out 425 horsepower. That Ram Charger N96 intake, just an incredible car. And you know what? You want to talk rarity? Only 4 Hemis were produced, convertible 4 speeds in 1969, and only one, this one, retains its original numbers matching block, Rutledge.
And Bill, something that makes this car so cool is there are letters of correspondence between all of the owners of these cars, which if all of the information Chris just gave you doesn't really solidify how special it is. You know, when owners of cars are passing it down, they take time to talk about it, share that. To me, it says this car is really, really special.
Yeah, as the years go by, Rut, you're right. The owner history becomes more and more important. And when you have a line of communication like that, boy, it answers a lot of the questions that you might have.
$700,000 that bought it. We'll be back. Welcome back to Mecum Full Throttle. It is time for the Cliff Ernst collection. We have this Yenko Nova.
One of only 38 Yenko Novas that were produced for 1969. Hardly any of them are left. Now, listen carefully. This is not one of those Yenko Deuces with the small block engine. This has the 450 horse 427. So that makes it so extra special. It raced for a while at the drags. Its nickname was My Piggy Bank, which means it probably won more races than it lost. M21 4-speed, 12-bolt rear end, and the F41 heavy-duty suspension. It's got those torque thrust D wheels on there. This has been on television, Power Block TV, been in magazines several times.
Sold 770.
And there it is, $775 for that Yenko Nova. Okay, now to the Yenko Camaros, all from 1969 and all exceptionally important cars.
Yeah, you know, if you take a straw poll and ask people what their favorite color might be on these, the Le Mans blue would be a high finisher. You can't get away from how classic that color is on high-performance Chevrolets. One of 201 of these cars were built in 1969. That was the highest production number for Yenko Camaros, by the way. This one rated at 425, but wink wing, it's got 450 in there. 4-speed car, wide ratio M20, and a lot of documentation as well.
$630,000. That's the first of Yenko Camaros, and it almost doubled the estimate.
And maybe when we see that prototype, we'll really get blown away.
I think you're right. This one, Rally Green. What a distinctive look this has.
Yeah, we're going to go back to the 4-speed on this as well. And really no need to go into all the specs, because these cars, other than maybe the transmission or whatever and the color, pretty much follow all of the specifications.
Again, this one obliterated the reserve in the estimate at $500,000.
Sure did. Actually a TV star too. This was on Power Block TV with Bill Goldberg way back in 2007.
There we go, $625,000.
Pretty good batting average so far in this Cliff Ernst collection.
All right, the next one is on the block. Feast your eyes on this Daytona Yellow 69 Yenko.
Oh, look out, world, here it comes. This one with the 4-speed and the 4 1/4 horse rat motor. Cowl induction hood, listed in the Yenko registry as all of these Yenkos are. Previously displayed at the National Corvette Museum down in Bowling Green.
Bill, of the 201 cars produced in 69, do we have a number of how many remain?
I do not believe we do. And you got to believe that we've lost a few. You know, anytime you have a high-performance car like this, bad things can happen when someone gets in over their head. But that's an interesting question. How many are actually left?
Yeah, my point being that, you know, they become even more rare, assuming what you just said might have happened.
They probably have a good answer from the guys at the Yenko registry who keep track of these cars.
Okay, $550. We'll buy the Daytona Yellow 69 Camaro. And now it is time for an exceptionally rare and important Yenko Camaro, Bill, the 1969 prototype pilot test car.
Yeah, there can only be one of the first of anything. This is the first Yenko Camaro in 69, the prototype pilot test car. Still has the L72 427, and one of only 10 Yankos finished in this Olympic gold. And of the 10, this is one of 2 with the white graphics, and the only one documented as having been optioned with Atlas wheels by the dealership. Ed Hedrick, a great drag racer, raced in this car. Ed was the real deal, boy. He raced several different classes. He even raced a Dragon Snake Cobra for a while. And look at that, 1.4, Scott.
Reserve is off. I tell you what, each and every one of these cars have just blasted past that reserve and done it very quickly. $1.6 million now.
There's a couple badges on here that are not in the same place as the rest of these 69s. Up here on the front fender, you can see the Yanko badge is actually above the Camaro badge, which is opposite of the rest of them in 69. And then the 427 badge right here is behind the turn signal. That moved up to the cowl for the rest of the 69 Yankos.
Oh, man, $1.65 million. 69 Baldwin Motion LS7 Camaro, Bill, and the reserve is off. We're inching closer to $1 million on this car.
Well, you had Don Yanko. We just saw his fabulous Camaros. Well, Joel Rosen at Motion Performance in New York, the Baldwin setup down there, is responsible for this. One of the rarest and most desirable Camaros ever built. And Joel Rosen himself owned this car. It's got the LS7, that 454 that was never installed in a production car. But Joel Rosen did it. Rock Crusher 4-speed, and look at the money.
Next up for us, a Singer 911. This is the Turbo Study.
When I first saw this car at the Quail in 2022, I immediately fell in love. They absolutely knocked it out of the park, retaining the DNA of the turbo, but putting all of the Singer goodies all over it. 3.8 liter twin turbo, flat 6, made it to a 6-speed manual transmission. Get a look at that interior, off the charts. What they've done with their idea of the Fuke wheels, and probably most impressive is how they've replicated the impact zones on these bumpers, all out of carbon fiber, of course, but keeping the flavor of the G-Series impact bumper and making it their own.
Sold, 1,600,000. Sold up high. Let's hear it.
1.6 million. And an important, historic BMW, Bill Stevens, 1959 BMW 507, and a lot of people are scratching their head about this car.
Well, they shouldn't scratch their head, because in BMW history, this automobile has been so influential. Only 252 of these were built. However, their effect and the ripple that they sent through the sports car world cannot be denied. This is a late Series 2 car with a 150 horse, 3,100 cc engine, a V8, and people look at this car and they look at the Z8 and they say, okay, we get it, because there's so much styling DNA that is exchanged between those two. This one has gone through just a nut and bolt restoration that left nothing overlooked.
And this one goes to the gentleman at the other end of the phone line with our Jamie McLeod over there. $1.375 million. All right, next up, it's another Ferrari. It's a 2019 Ferrari 488 Pista.
Twin turbo, 3.9 liter V8, 710 horsepower, only 4,000 miles from new. Carbon fiber everywhere. Forged dark painted wheels. You see the interior, the Alcantara and carbon fiber. Daytona racing seats. Titanium exhaust. That's a 5-tool player. Acceleration, top speed, handling, braking, and styling. All in one package.
Sold, $650,000.
$650,000.
And sold.
Sold it. Working on a 1958 300 SL Roadster, and just like that, the reserve comes off. Add another one to the $1 million club, Bill Stevens.
Homina, homina, homina. Oh, boy. One of only 324 of these Roadsters built. This is the twin to the gull wing coupe, except they ain't got no gull wings. This was built in 1958. The gull wing went out of production in 57, and then the Roadster kind of overlapped. They did them both for a while, and now we're in 1958. And these are now trading not as much as a gull wing in comparable condition, but you know what? They're a lot closer than they used to be.
1.4 million. Well, let's check out a 1932 Alfa Romeo 6C. There's a lot of stuff to discuss on this car. It is a 6C 750 Series V Grand Sport Roadster by Fioni.
Yeah, Fagoni, yes, you are correct, sir. That is the coach work. And back in the day, well, this was the elemental days of two-seat sports cars and sports motoring. Little inline six-cylinder engine, not much in the way of horsepower. Of course, we're going back to 1932. The first 5th series of this particular chassis, built for 1932. And believed to be just one of 10 that are still in existence. This has a supercharger on it, by the way, if you can believe that they had supercharging back in 1932, but oh, yes, they did.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
Okay, Matt Morvac hammers that Alfa Romeo, sold $800,000. So we need to step away for a brief timeout here. We'll be back. We are back in Kissimmee. Here's another Ferrari, a 599 SA Aperta from 2011.
Black stilettos, the outside, the inside. It's called Sabia, but it's like a light saddle. 661 Italian horsepower out of that V12 6-liter with 459 pound-feet of torque. Super fast, 6-speed, automatic transmission. And oh, wow. The option list on this runs you almost $14,000. That's after you buy the car. 80 of these were produced, and the odometer reads just under 700 miles. Do you know that roof is carbon fiber?
Yep.
Carbon fiber removable roof from the factory. $40,000 would get you one of those, and it's no longer available to purchase today.
All right, $2.2 million for that latest Ferrari. Well, Bill, I may need to get the defibrillator out for you here. It's a 1970 LS6 convertible.
No, I'm okay. No problem. This could be the sweetest LS6 convertible that we've seen in these parts in a long time. First of all, that black cherry color, the white convertible top. Yep, it's a convertible. That's the LS6. 450 horse, 454. Rock Crusher, M22, 4-speed, 331. Positive traction, rear end. This one, power brakes, cowl induction hood. And we can just see what the bidders do with this car.
Wow.
Wow is right. $700,000.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's heavy bread. Yow.
Big time, man. What a car we have for you next. Incredible 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda convertible.
And in the Mopar world, Scott, I mean, when you say those words together, you know you're in rare air. Only 12 left the factory in 1971, 5 as automatics, and this one has the distinction of being the very first off the assembly line. It was known as the White Elephant at the assembly plant, and it must have been very white because later in the restoration they added those black billboard stripes, proudly proclaiming that Hemi call out on the doors.
You got to imagine when they're building these cars in Hamtramck, for them to nickname this car the White Elephant, you knew, Bill, that it was something special to the people that were assembling the car.
And how? 5 were equipped with a torque flight, making it rare right off the top. It's got the 355 shore grip differential, a bulletproof powertrain for sure.
This one is also distinctive because of the white painted grille. Normally that's an argent cover to pick up sometimes the shaker hood will be argent. This one is black, the shaker, and they painted that grille white just to keep going with that white elephant theme. There was a time in the Mopar world, about 20 years ago or so, that this was the absolute GOAT as far as valuation goes. It was up in the $5 million range back in those days. It's nice to see it in this range in 2026.
$3 million is the bid. $3,100,000. Yes or no, sir? I won't do that, Tim. $3 million.
Reserve is off at $3 million. The hammer falls. $3 million, and thumbs up and handshakes all around. Okay, 918 Spider Wysock is here now. This is from 2015.
Yeah, this is the Martini livery, a Wysock package, that $81,000 option that was meant to lighten the car as much as possible through the use of carbon fiber componentry. And also, Scott, this livery application is not painted on there. It's actually a vinyl application that is, once again, meant to reduce weight.
Carbon fiber everywhere, as you mentioned, Chris. Carbon fiber monocoque inside, carbon fiber trim, carbon fiber seats, lightweight magnesium wheels.
And interestingly enough, Bill, it has that acid green surround on the logo on the side, but they had a delete kit for this car, so they did not have the brakes, which were done on almost all the other cars, with that acid green. This is just a regular silver on the brake caliper.
It's a great car. It's a $3.25 million hammer price. All right, another Ferrari, 1963 400 Super America Coupe Aerodinamico, Bill.
They're kind of like the almost sort of kind of semi-sister car to the 250 GTO, although the only thing they have in common is the name Ferrari.
A distant cousin, maybe.
Very distant.
Very distant, yes.
They do have V12s, both of these cars, and only 22 long wheelbase. These are Series 2 cars built from 62 to 64. Only 22 of them were built. This is a rare open headlight example as well. V12 4-speed, private collection for about 5 years, and that was invited to the Casa Ferrari at Pebble Beach just a couple of years ago. Valuable automobile.
Sold $2,200,000.
Lots of affirmative nodding heads there. $2.2 million for that Ferrari. Here's the 2006 Ford GT now.
Yeah, we've had our share of these. This one in that very desirable tungsten livery. 550 horse, 5.4 supercharged with the 6-speed transaxle. Lightweight wheels, Macintosh stereo, stripes, and I think we got the gray painted brake calipers on there. All 4 options.
You are correct, all 4.
250 of these were produced in that color, by the way, and the odometer reads a mere 732 miles.
How about that? 570. All good there.
A lot of people are going to go home happy today from Mecum Kissimmee.
Indeed.
Wow.
And so we will take a look now at the 2008 Veyron Mansory Vivere.
Yes, one of 2 in the Mansory Vivere edition, produced in 2008. And of course, this car set all kinds of speed records when it first came out with that quad 4 turbocharged W16, 8 liters worth, well over 200 miles an hour. And what's interesting on these cars is they were able to achieve that speed with not a whole lot of active aerodynamics. Just the shape of this car allows it to just hug right down out of the pavement. A lot of carbon fiber.
Look at all that.
Yeah.
Guys, look at that specialty carbon fiber, the weave that they would use for different parts of the different car having a different pattern. Just incredible. That's what this particular edition did. It really just turned everything up. To 11, if you will. It turned it all the way up, Chris. Right past 10 to 11. What an incredible Bugatti.
Very savvy move by the buyer. Just saved himself 50 grand on that transaction.
Look at that joy, too.
Man.
They know they're going home with something really special.
That corner of the room just erupted, man. And they know it. $2.15 million. On our auction block is a 1967 427 Cobra Roadster that we do not want to overlook, Brother Bill.
No, not at all. That's a real 427 side oiler during production. Shelby switched to 428s and then back to 427s. And this is a late car. This is CSX 3350. That means it was born as a street car. But like a lot of the street Cobras that were built, the owners decide to put some of those SC or competition touches on it, such as you just saw the fuel filler, the 3-point roll bar. You also saw the pin drive wheels, side exhaust, and the jack pads, which were used in racing to jack the car up as quickly as possible to do a tire change. That red, probably Rangoon red. That was a signature color for the Cobra.
Sold
$1.1 million for that big block 67 Cobra Roadster. Okay, Rare Air next. 2022 Bugatti Chiron Pour Sport. One of only 60 of these built.
You know, that new Corvette ZR1X,
Yeah.
1,064 horsepower. How about 1,479? And this Bugatti, it is right up there as well. 9,400 miles on the odometer, full exposed carbon fiber exterior. That's all carbon fiber you are looking at.
Yep, that's not black paint.
That's a quad turbocharged 8-liter 16-cylinder engine producing all that horsepower and a 7-speed dual clutch automatic.
Sold
And that's it. $3.5 million. All right, 2006 Ford GT Heritage Edition.
Only 343 of these Ford GTs wear that paint livery, and there's only 197 miles that are wearing on the odometer. 550 horse, 5.4-liter supercharged overhead cam, V8, Macintosh stereo, painted brake calipers, lightweight wheels, and the Heritage livery.
And there it is, $1.2 million. We'll have more from Kissimmee coming up in just a moment. Welcome back to Mecum Kissimmee 2026 from the Osceola Heritage Park. We have supercar time now.
Oh, Scott, you said it.
Can we call it supercar o'clock?
Hypercar, I think, is really the category that this one falls into due to its supercar status as well as the hybrid function. It utilizes, of course, the engine and also 2 electric motors to achieve just ungodly performance. 0 to 60, 2.5 seconds. Top speed, 217 miles an hour. Just crazy. And this one, of course, is a Y-stock package, as you can see from the carbon fiber top, the carbon fiber side mirrors, the carbon fiber windshield surround. That is an $84,000 option. And can we talk about this paint? This paint to sample pure orange is a $21,000 option, Scott.
You are kidding me. $3.4 million and the reserve is off on that car.
Oh yeah, as expected. I mean, these are just incredible cars, limited to a run of 918 examples over a 3-year production period. And yeah, right in the estimated pockets.
Well, that, ladies and gentlemen, is a Mecum Moment Wysock edition. And he will take that 918 Spider home for $5.5 million. Another terrific Ferrari to showcase for you here. It's a 2003 Ferrari Enzo.
Yes, and grabber orange. How about that, huh? Well,
it's you're close.
Yeah, it's Rosso Dino is what they call it. And as we learned earlier, 400 of these were built between 2002 and 2004. and 127 were exported to the U.S. This is the only Enzo painted in that color. 651 horse, 6-liter, double overhead cam, fuel-injected V12, 4 overhead cams, variation in the control of those camshafts through that electronic management.
Oh, the reserve is off. We got there. $9.5 million.
There it goes. Boy, enjoy it.
$10.1 million. Another Mecum moment here in Kissimmee, and anticipates the arrival of this car, the GT40 Mark II factory lightweight from Ford in 1966.
Boy, we've talked about this a lot, and I never get tired of hearing the story. 11 GT40 Mark II cars were built. That's with a big block engine. Only 9 examples have survived. And this, of course, one of the 3 lightweight cars. And we thank Alan Mann for making these lightweight cars and the 427 engines. Most of the cars that still remain, those 9, in the collections of people like Miles Collier, Fred Simeone, the Philadelphia collector, and the Shelby American collection.
Steve Matchett, you're down there. Man, I've got goosebumps. I know you do too.
It's absolutely stunning. It's remarkable. We've been talking about it for the last few days. We've done previews on the car. You guys have been so good at telling the history of the car, but it is just an absolute immaculate piece of automotive history. And just listening to the reaction from the crowd as it comes onto the block is phenomenal.
That is not a typo at the top of your screen. $6 million is bid on this car.
Ronnie Spain, the noted GT40 expert, has said, and if he says it, he means it, there are other Mark IIs which have been fabulously restored to original configuration, but only this car is in that original condition still.
Yeah. Bill, you and I have talked about it when we went up to the Apex collection, that these guys and gals at Apex understand exactly what to do with the car. Bring back to life what needs to be brought back to life, and leave the rest. And there's so little that needs to be done to this car. It's just so perfect.
They understand the difference between preservation and restoration.
Boom, that's it right there, yeah. That's it right there.
$8.5 million is bid. 4 bidders on the telephone.
Ford GT came along, 1964, 1965, was not a very successful race car, a lot of growing pains, a lot of bugs to be worked out. Carroll Shelby came along, even Holman Moody got on board during that time, and of course Carroll Shelby's GT40s, the ones that he prepared. The most successful, I would say, in 1966, that 1-2-3 finish at the 24 Hours of Le Mans, which of course has been chronicled in Ford versus Ferrari, that recent movie. And then, of course, the J car came along, 1967. Dan Gurney, A.J. Foyt absolutely crushed everything on that racetrack in France. And then Ford got out of the long-distance endurance racing business with their GT40s, but others, they still wanted to go out there with these cars. They felt they had a lot of life. And Steve, you remember how John Wyer came along in 68 and 69 and continued the success. But this car right here, this one is a real halo car in GT40 history.
It's a real halo car. And Bill, I just want to highlight this sort of detailing around here. This is exactly what we were talking about, how Apex just get it absolutely right. It would have been so tempting to have removed those stone damage marks and changed the paintwork. It would have been so relatively easy. But it takes away from that fantastic heritage of the car. They're not going to do it. They don't want to do it.
And just
$10.5 million. I'm sorry, Bill.
No, just quick. And just how important this paint is, this red, which became a very famous color in 67 on the cars that Foyt and Gurney drove, that Victory Red with the white over-the-top stripes.
We are at $11 million.
And a former Formula One engineer like Steve Matchett understands the relationship between lightweight and success on the racetrack.
engineers and mechanics, they spend their entire working life trying to just get 1 ounce away from that car.
Yeah.
Guys, you think about the kind of car this might end up sitting next to in someone's collection. Really makes you wonder.
Oh, my goodness. Oh! Wow, look at this. And listen to the crowd.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise.
Wow, everybody exhales.
Yep.
And the excitement is amazing. $11,250,000. And now the moment we have all been waiting for. There it is. Ferrari is a brand built on excellence and racing. And today, here at Mecum Kissimmee, one of the most legendary examples of those two principles is set to cross the stage. Triple Crown winning driver Graham Hill among those who've driven this car. It is the only example to ever leave the Maranello factory in white. This is the 1962 Ferrari 250 GTO, known as Bianco Speciale.
Racing career with 1 victory and 5 second-place finishes in the GT class. Part of the John Shirley collection since 1999, refinished in its original Bianco paint color. The Bianco Speciale. And somebody give $50 million.
Well, there it is, Bill. And we are potentially about to witness history.
So much history, too. And you know, no matter how long the bidding goes, we'll probably never get to every aspect of this car. It is prolific in what it has accomplished. 3 straight World GT Championships, 62, 63, 64 class wins at Le Mans. Not this particular car itself, but this class of automobile just run rampant through the GT category during the early and mid-1960s.
I believe what really makes the 250 GTO the legendary car it is from all my years being around Ferrari is it's the culmination of the 250 GT program. Enzo Ferrari, Mauro Fugeri, his engineers and drivers, finally getting everything on a GT chassis that they wanted. This is the culmination. This car is Ferrari.
31 million is the current bid.
3-liter V12, 300 horsepower, 5-speed manual, top speed about 174 miles an hour.
And this isn't just a car that has sat static for its life. No, this car has raced. It's gotten first place, I think 5 second places, but also in its most recent ownership has seen a bunch of historic track days, and the owner hopes that the new owner continues that so people can actually see this car in person.
We mentioned Graham Hill driving this car, that great American champion Richie Ginther. Roy Salvadori, the co-driver with Carroll Shelby, that won the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1959. Some of the best drivers in racing have taken their turn behind the wheel of this car. $36 built, 33 of the Series 1 cars, 3 of the Series 2 cars. And that's it. That's all they built.
That's all there is.
32.5 million is the current bid.
They have been in rarefied air for so long, for so many years, that even just to see one in the open is a rarity. To see one cross the block and listen to the excitement from the crowd, it's stunning, stunning stuff.
We are at $33 million.
$34 million for it. 34.5. 35 reserve.
There reserve is off.
$100,000. Do you want to get in? Do you want to get in?
Mecum and Ferrari history is made.
$35 million is the bid. Anybody give $35,500,000? Once, twice, third and final call. $35,500,000, and it is still for sale.
Is somebody coming in at the
$35 million
at the last second in the back of the room?
$500,000.
Perhaps.
$35,500,000. Anybody else? Once, $35,500,000. Twice. Last call. $35,500,000, and it is sold. $35 million.
Wow! An amazing moment.
Oh my goodness.
We've seen nothing like this ever in Mecum history. The Bianco Speciale in front of a packed house and millions of interested onlookers around the world just sold for $35 million, the #1 car in Mecum auction history.
And the most suspense we have ever experienced in all the years we've been with Mecum.
And that'll do it for this edition of Mecum Full Throttle. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Scott Hoke. So long from Kissimmee.